Pope's hidden pagan practices just got exposed, and they are introducing a new way of praying. Who is Father Son, and why is he being worshipped now? What are we witnessing now is part of the devastating consequence of the Pope's ecumenism mixed with spiritualism. One world worship, that is. The Pope proclaims that all religions now must all be celebrated. Why? Because it all leads to the true God. The President of Mexico also have embraced Pope Francis's pantheistic religion, and we will also see Rome's largest gathering in worshiping the sun with hypnotic sounds, with a priest DJ. You will not believe it until you see the video. Welcome, dear friends, to Truth and Bible Prophecy Live. Welcome and hope you will be blessed. Kindly share and like this broadcast. Ezekiel 8 verse 16. They worship the sun towards the east. Many have scoffed at the idea of the coming mandatory Green Sunday laws that will be enforced by the sea beast of Revelation 13, with the land beast USA doing his bidding. Revelation 13 verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and in them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Claudia Sheinbaum took the oath of office as the first female president of Mexico. One of the ceremonies that took place in the capital's Constitution Plaza included the invocation of Father Son, the sun god, while the people were asked to raise their hands and look to the east. This is simply a modern revival of the ancient pagan gods that we read about in the Bible. Many ancient cultures such as Babylon, Rome, even Sodom and the antediluvians ceased to exist for participating in the same worship. And this is a state-sponsored worship for the sun. In Mexico's inauguration for president, kindly observe the video, dear friends.
Ceremonia sagrada. Y vamos a levantar nuestras manos con dirección a donde sale el sol, al oriente.
You will notice that the worship begins by raising their hands in the direction and faces where the sun rises, that is in the east. Just like sun worship at the time of Prophet Ezekiel, a picture of the abomination of desolation in the first stage of the Old Testament sun worship.
Invocamos a los nahuales, a las deidades y a los demás seres y espíritu divino que habita este lugar. Pedimos vida, iluminación y sabiduría.
Next is spiritualism, summoning of demonic spirits to take over the place, and the demonic deity, Father Son. Just as the Heavenly Father is known for many names, so was the Sun God. Pope introduces him as Brother Son and Father's Son in various countries. This is a state-sponsored spiritualism, and instead of preparing people for that eternal home that God is preparing, John 14:1-3, the new mission is to shape and mold this present world with nature worship, religious mysticism, and radical environmentalism. Not only that, not only are they openly worshiping the sun, but they are invoking demonic spirits to join them. The so-called Nauhales that were called on during this presidential inauguration are mythical beings and supernatural spirits that have the ability to transform into animals.
Te pedimos, Padre Sol, que habites en su corazón, así como habitas en cada corazón de las niñas y las mujeres de este México.
A nuestra madre tierra, porque le hemos faltado el respeto. Hemos padecido con ella todos estos cambios climáticos.
According to the Mexican government, these nahuales are protective spiritual guides that accompany people from birth to death. This is not the first time that the worship of the sun is exalted at huge, massive crowds. The largest Baal worship service headed by Pope Francis Sunday morning mass. Daniel 3 verse 10. Every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. As soon as the music was heard over loudspeakers, the people at the World Youth Day, and as you know, 2025 Jubilee is celebrated now. The people at the World Youth Day rose up to dance, jump and play in front of the rising sun. On Sunday, the pagan day of the sun was honored and revered. This is a revival of Baal worship from the Old Testament. Before Pope Francis was scheduled to give the final mass, 1.5 million people dance and jump to electronic music, which is a combination of energetic repetitive beats mixed with hypnotic sound effect. And you even have a priest called Roman Catholic DJ priest. Pexoto was the person responsible for igniting the people. It is important to recognize that the primary function of drums in music and pagan rituals is to introduce them in a trance state, communication and possession by the false deities. Psalm 127 verse 4, as arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are the children of the youth. Satan in the final days will strongly use the channel of spiritualism through the influence of music, a channel by which Satan binds soul, speak, voices, demonic appearances are made, and a bewitching power that enters human beings. 1 Samuel 16 verse 14 to 23, but the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And so it was whenever the Spirit from God was upon Saul, that David would take a harp and play it with his hand. Then Saul would become refreshed and well, and the evil spirit will depart from him. Dr. Juanita McElwain, a doctor in music, says in her book Inside Rock Music, page 2, the same exact rhythms are used in each of the three religions, in African and Indian music, in rock music, and in music used in meetings of faith healers. The god, the demon, comes whenever he is called by anyone using those rhythms. Here is a photo of child sacrifice to the pagan god Molech. Notice in the background the female with the hand drum and a man with the big drum. The drum produces the rhythm, and it is the center in these pagan worship services. Sunday is a mark and symbol of apostasy, and pagan music intensifies the abomination, and the Bible is the only standard to live by. Would you like to unite with me in standing for truth and Jesus in the final days? Catholic doctrine also tells us that Saint Francis of Assisi is the patron saint of ecology. It was Saint Francis of Assisi, as they called him, who brought many of the pantheistic philosophies found in paganism to Christianity. In this canticle is a song and prayer to brother sun and sister moon. Saint Francis of Assisi calls for the same veneration of the earth that is commonly found in non-Christian indigenous religions. Here is part of the pantheistic prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi.